Hey Caroline, it's Declan here with a short overview of CampusConnect for you. I'm going to quickly run through this. If you have any questions, just drop us an email. Or just give me your number and I can pick up the phone and give you a call if you want to run through any of it if you're not sure. I'm going to start on the app. So this is the user-facing side of the platform. So the students download the app. So what you need to do is send an invitation for students to join and give them the invite code that they need to access. Again, I just forward this via email afterwards. It's ULCC20. So ULCC20, when prompted, the students can access. So download and register. I'll send you the link and the invite details so you know what to say to students as well. So students want to join because they want to connect with other students that they'll be studying with from September. Once the student joins, they add a profile pic, name, a little bit about themselves, they add their country. There's a full subject list here as well, so we can match students up around subject. And there's a start date, so the students can put in their start date. And the important one for you is the student needs to indicate that they're study abroad. Once they indicate they're study abroad, we know who they are. They click save, and once they go in, there's a few different sections. The big one is obviously groups. So the groups that appear are the ones that we have set up for these students. So there's different groups. I'm in as an ambassador, so I have a slightly different profile here. I'm in as an ambassador. Yeah, students may have a slightly different view, but there are groups where they can ask a particular student question, an ambassador. There are say hello groups. There are groups for particular subjects. There are groups for students coming from China. There's lots of different groups you can set up. In here there's content, so welcome study abroad students about the university, accepting these different sections. You can add new sections, you can add content, so welcome study abroad students. There is one piece of content in here with a nice picture of Cahill with a little bit of sort of advice and support in terms of how to get the most out of the app. There's an orientation schedule actually from last year which needs to be changed. But you get the idea. So lots of different sections with lots of different content. Some of the content is used across the board with all of the students. Some of it is more specific to, for example, study abroad. And I'll show you how that works when we go a little bit further. We can feature certain pieces of content, give students a push notification, and then so for example, become an ambassador. You can add in links, video content. There is, that's the one-to-one chat. Students get a list as well of people to connect with. And they can view profiles, and message others. They can see profiles and find people who are on the same course as them. So that's what the user sees. Pretty simple, really. And on your side, Cahill sent you an admin password. So your admin email goes here and your password goes here, excuse me, and then you log in. The first thing is your admin profile. Add a picture, add a little bit of information about yourself. And if you message a student through your admin, the student knows who you are. Otherwise, you're just an anonymous person. So it'll be worth putting a little bit of detail in here so students know who's talking to them. The analytics then, there's a couple of different tabs here: overview, invite, activity, user activity, content views, and insights. I'll not go through everything because I don't think some of it isn't that relevant. The one you probably want to look at is user activity. So this is a full list of every user that registers. So you can see here 16th of March, last registration, 13th, and so on. At the moment, the majority of students on here are Indian students. If you click into some of these profiles, you can see who the students are. So it gives you an idea just the student accounts that are on there. Up here, top right, click on the show filters. I don't want to see ambassadors. I don't want to see guests. I do want to see study abroad. So you click on that and then you get a full list of study abroad students, 39. The majority of study abroad, actually most of the, I don't know if there's anybody since, but all the study abroad students came on between October and November. So I'm guessing they were January starters, January, February intake. So they're those accounts that are on there at the moment. So those students are actually on campus at the moment, and could be ideal candidates to be ambassadors if you want to begin inviting new users. The conversations then is where the groups and messages happen. So this is a one-to-one conversation between you and one of the respective students or an ambassador. The groups are here. Now the groups are set up here, manage groups. Click manage group, you can see all the groups that we've set up between us and the international team. If you want to create a group, click the plus, and the group could be something like study abroad, September entrance. You can upload an image here. Then visibility, and you can select the study abroad students. So what that means is, once you press save, and I'll go back to this, only students who have selected study abroad in their profile will see the group that you've created. So you can filter the groups to particular students. So if you want to create different groups for your study abroad students, you can do, and then only those who are study abroad will see those groups, if that makes sense. Content works in the same way. This is all the content that's on there at the moment. So there are all different types of things. Some of it is more general to all of the students. Some of it is more specific to Erasmus or international. And some of it is, I think there's actually some study abroad content on here from previous cycles. You can add things like checklists, things to do, booking your accommodation, upload an image. So to add a piece of content, just click the plus in the top right, add the piece of content. It could be I don't know, study abroad orientation schedule. The section you want to put it in, you can select if you want to add another section to the app. So the sections are these parts here. These are the sections. If you want to create a new section, you need to do it in here. So the contents, see sections. So create a new section. If you want to add anything, it's always top right plus. So, and then within the section you can have a number of different documents, different pieces of content. So click plus, again, as I mentioned, it could be something like study abroad, orientation 2020. Select your section, welcome study abroad students. Summary of the document. So here is an outline of the upload an image to support. Text markdown, you get a preview on this side as soon as you add. We have a little cheat sheet, I can send you that as well. YouTube videos can be added. Put in the title if you want to add it at the top or the bottom of the piece of content. Again, then make sure you select study abroad here if that's who you want to make it visible. If you wanted to select study abroad US, you can break it down to that, or study abroad Canada, or whatever way you want to slice and dice a piece of content. Feature, these two essentially are more or less the same. They just stick to the top of the content. So for example, here, they will just feature at the top of the, they'll stick there, they won't move. So if you add more content, that kind of stays permanent, a bit like Twitter does. Push notification is important. Obviously, if you want to send it out so the student receives a push notification. You can schedule content. I know you mentioned before about your Nurture Keep Warm campaign. You can do the same with this. You can add the content and then schedule it to go out over a number of weeks before the students arrive. You can add an action date to a piece of content if it's something that they need to do. Give them again a little push to do it. Some documents have a location related. You can do that. Where that will appear then is it'll actually appear on the map as well for the students. They'll have a map here with a list of different locations that are linked to the documents, piece of content that are pushed out. And I think that is everything. There's probably a few pieces I may have skipped over too quickly, but if you can search for students here. Generally that's it. It's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, just drop us an email. Myself and Carl are on hand. We could give you a hand if you need to add any new content, if you need any help, support, etc. Hope this helps. Give us a shout if you need anything. Thank you. Bye.